Chris Sims, the host of the Unbuttoned podcast. And you were talking to Kellen Mond there, Brother Sims. And I know I ask you this every week. People still don't get it. I mean, I'm looking at these mock drafts. I keep looking for Kellen Mond's name, and nobody has him in the first round. People barely have him in the second round.
I know.
They just don't get it. They don't get it, right?
I don't get it either.
They just don't get it.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say they don't get it. I don't get it. Hey, listen, I don't always understand the hype of the draft. Some guys get certain hypes. Other guys don't. It's weird like that on a year-to-year basis. It's hard to explain for me in a lot of ways. I do feel like I've heard more hype about, oh, maybe he could sneak up early in the second round, something like that. I've certainly had a few teams reach out to me about him, just as far as wanting to hear my thoughts, because I think they were intrigued by what they see on the film. And that's where I go back to it. You know, Michaels is just, you look at him and I don't know what it is that's not first round conversation in his game. You know, whether I just want to take it for what it is and what we've talked about a little bit. You know, first off, like we said, I'm not a great team in the SEC. You know, they won games. All the stats and production things are there. But forget that. Like the degree of difficulty of some of the plays and throws and windows he had to throw into. You know, what I've been saying about Kellen Mond here for a while is he's been playing professional football for the last 2 years when you just take into account throwing into tight windows and throwing with people around you in the pocket and still being able to make those big-time throws. So I still won't be shocked, I'll say that it may be something late in the first round happens. But, man, I just like at a base level, too, I liked Jordan Love last year, right? I liked him. Not everybody did. I think you look at Kellen Mond's film and Jordan Love's film, and there's no comparison, let alone it's against a better quality of competition and everything like that. So I don't get it, but I do think we'll see him off the board somewhere in the top 40 picks.
Can we be real, Chris? Can we be real with each other?
You know
we've known
can.
each other long enough. You are our brother. We can be completely honest about stuff. And we don't, we're not going to pull punches here. All right, good. Because you're talking about stuff you don't get. Let me tell you what I don't get, but I think what happened is that I've spent so much time around you until it's kind of just like I've adopted that thinking. So you have said that you would be shocked if Mac Jones were not the guy at 3.
Right.
Because you know Kyle Shanahan's type. I don't know, and I say this respectfully, who in his right mind would take Mac Jones over Justin Fields, given the dynamic element that Justin Fields brings to the table? And that's not to say I don't love Mac Jones. I don't buy into this Mac Jones product of the talent around. I think Mac Jones is really good. But I think Justin Fields is an opportunity to be special. Yeah. So help me with that a little bit. Like, I get, because I think we're talking about the fit in the system. It's like, yo, it's Justin Fields. In what world is Mac Jones better than Justin Fields at the 3rd pick of the draft?
Yeah, listen, it's a great conversation. I think there's a lot of layers to that conversation altogether. Yeah. You know, one at like a base level, I know what you're saying. You're going, wait, Mac Jones, there's nothing like elite one thing you can jump out to go, wow, that's amazing that he's got that kind of arm or he's that kind of athlete. No, he doesn't have that. You know, but what he does have is a lot of real good in just about every area. You know, I would go, okay, most accurate passer in the draft, Mac Jones. Best decision maker in the draft. Okay, it's Mac Jones. You know, all right, the accurate passer thing might have been him or Zach Wilson, but it was close, okay? Movement in the pocket and just, you know, finding room to throw the ball and doing things like that. I think that's towards the top of the draft. You know, he's been in a NFL type of system, and I think with like Mac Jones, where I would go all kind of like now kind of bottle it up and go, okay, all those things are real good but not elite, but it leads to elite play on the football field. I think that's where, you know, you got to take that aspect, okay? Now with Justin Fields, like, listen, I don't deny, I've been saying this from the start, it's a tough evaluation. There's things to love about the guy. And you're right. Like, his athleticism and the pure power in his arm are elite. They're superstar. They're superstar caliber in that. But then I think when you get into the inconsistencies in the throwing and some of the decision making and the quarterback playing and all that type of stuff, I look at that and go, wait, there's some things about his game that are, not even close to elite. What I would go when it comes to the accuracy and the consistency of throwing, I would go, it's below average for what you would like, especially at a top 10 quarterback. And I think that's where people are on the fence about Justin Fields. And it's hard to look at Mac Jones and see him and go, wait, there's nothing elite about that guy, not with that body. So that's where it becomes hard. I understand that. But to me, again, I think the biggest thing with Justin Fields, and listen, I've talked about the mechanics. He's got that hitch in his motion where he lifts the arm. You see it right there. It compromises his accuracy, his arm speed, all of those type of things. And I just don't know if you can fix that. That to me is a big if. And that I think is what scares me, just to, keep it real between us.
No, that's great. And there's Kyle Shanahan telling Justin Fields, "We're taking you at 3 right there." No, I'm kidding. And trust me, it's not about the body, because I think Tom Brady told us not to judge a book by its cover. But Chris, and I don't get a chance to listen to apologies. I don't get a chance to listen to everything you say, whether it's on PFT or on Button. I had not heard you say that Mac Jones was, if not the most accurate, as accurate as any quarterback in the draft.
Decision making is as good as I've seen, really, other than Joe Burrow.
Well, I guess though I would say then is, like, if you just want to talk about playing a position and not to put words in your mouth, if you want to talk about just playing a position, it sounds like he's the best guy in the draft, Mac Jones.
Well, I think
playing position.
When he played to the most pure form, I think he's in the conversation for that. Is doing all the quarterbacky things. He got us in the right play. He makes the right throw, the right read. I hear you there. But I don't love that, because to me, there's too many plays, and I think you've seen enough too, where you go, whoa, nobody's open. Whoa, great throw. I mean, he put that in a great spot. There's nothing there. Oh, he had a little, pressure in the pocket. He makes a nice little move with his feet. He's got great feet. He's got great feet in the pocket. They are really special that way too. And, he makes a lot of what I guess I would say subtle, really awesome plays where I just came away watching film going, whoa, great throw. Whoa, how did he get over there that quick? Wow, great throw. And listen, I'm a guy that usually not in love with these type of players. I'm usually a guy that's all about the elite traits and, he has this and he could be a superstar. I just think there's a few too many negatives for me with Fields this year. And even though Jones doesn't have that one thing, I think it's all together. And I do think he's being underestimated or undervalued just a little bit. The arm talent is good. It's like I've said from the start, it's every bit as strong as Joe Burrow's was last year coming out in the draft, and nobody had an issue with that. It's just, if you put it up to pure power next to Trey Lance or Justin Fields, it's not in their category.
Right.
But as we know, that doesn't always mean everything as far as being a great quarterback either.
And I'm so glad we unpacked this. No, but I'm glad we unpacked it more, because this is helping with the understanding. So I'll ask this one more follow-up. Thank you for your patience, Michael. I'm gonna give it right back to Michael with this one after this. One more follow-up on this particular topic, which is, so Shanahan, I had the joke just now. Shanahan and Lynch were at the second pro day.
Right.
Again, Kyle Shanahan, you know how he thinks. Do you think that the Niners are still doing due diligence at this point and maybe undecided about who they're taking third? Or do you still feel every bit as confident that they're locked in on Mac Jones?
I feel like I still have the same feeling I did from the start, that I would be shocked if it's not Mac Jones. Not to say that I think it's 100% Mac Jones. I think they made that trade with him in mind, but also going, wait, we like the other two guys a whole lot too. And so, I guess what I'm saying is, I would say I think it's like a Mac Jones, it's like 90%. But hey, let's keep watching Trey Lance and Justin Fields and just continue to learn about them, because there are the special elements. And I'm sure, just like you and just like me, Shanahan's going, wait, what would these two dudes that can run like this look like in my offense and what they can do that way? And that is intriguing. So I think they are. They're just doing their homework. They're doing their due diligence. But like I said, I think I would be shocked if it's not Mac Jones when all said and done.
I want to stay in the backfield, fellas, and say that when I was watching the national championship game, rooting hard for Ohio State, and that was a futile rooting exercise against Alabama, I couldn't take my eyes off Najee Harris. I'm like, man, this guy's great. This guy's got to be the best guy in the draft. And then I see the draft rankings from my brother, Chris Sims. Not 1, not 2, LeBron, not 3, 4. Look at that. Najee Harris,
Yeah.
4. Tell me about, I think everybody knows the number 1 guy, but tell me about 2 and 3 and what the separate, how great the separation is between the top 3 and Najee Harris at 4.
No, I think, it was close between 2, 3, and 4. I thought ETN was clearly the number 1 most complete back in the draft, can do everything. Reminds me really of like Alvin Kamara and the way he runs and catches the ball and does things out of the backfield. So I thought that was the guy, right? He can run between the tackles and then do everything else too. Now, with the other guys, listen, I'm looking at the running back position, and I do tend to value big plays, explosive plays, maybe more than others. And I'm also like, when I'm doing this, I'm looking at it and going like, wait, we're not thinking about the future here. I'm thinking about drafting a running back for the next 3 or 4 years, and then I'm probably going to have to draft another running back and redo the position. Because you can't sit there and draft one of these guys and expect like, well, we're going to draft him because I think he's going to last a long time and he'll be here for 7 years. Yeah, good luck with that. I've seen some of the biggest, freakiest dudes on earth that don't last in the NFL for 4 or 5 years at the running back position. It's a brutal position. Harris has got great size. There's no doubt about that. But for that great size, there's not great power that comes along with it. You don't see a lot of power type runs. Got very
not like
quick
Javonte
feet.
Williams.
What? Yeah, not like Javonte Williams.
He's a tank.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Javonte Williams is looking to run you over and run with power all the time. Harris would rather make you miss than run you over, and he's sweet feet, like I said. But to me, a little bit also can be misleading, Michael Holley, is, hey, when you're getting the ball and you're coming downhill and there's a big hole all the time, you're going to look pretty good, which is what he had the benefit of in Alabama. There was too many plays where I came away just at a base level and went, that was a nice 12-yard run, but I think if the 3 guys in front of him had that same hole, that'd be a 60-yard run. That's where I came away with it a little bit, to where I go, there's meat left on the bone, and you're not always going to have the advantage of having that offensive line and things like that to gain speed and, get to the second level clean to now where you can get your sweet feet to make people miss that way. And last thing, I'm sorry for the long answer, is just like,
Oh, you got it.
You're good.
got a little bit what I always call it the Peter Warwick syndrome, all right? And what I mean by that is, make the first guy miss, break his ankles, right? Get up to the second guy, and you're about to break his ankles, but as you're doing that, because you're not real fast, the first guy already caught up and tackled you. And that's where I worry about his game not translating to the NFL, not nearly the same. He catches the ball great, does all that, but I basically came away thinking he was more of like a Gus Edwards for the Baltimore Ravens, who had value in the pass game. Like Gus Edwards' running style with some Fred Jackson pass catching ability out of the backfield is what I basically saw. I thought the 3 guys I put in front of him were a little bit more home run hitters, big play. Their careers might not be real long, but it's going to be real impactful and help an offense out that way.
I like it.
So all I got left is a request. All I got before I let you go, I don't know if you got anything else, Michael. I just have a request. I know you have a lot on your plate with the 2021 draft, but given that I believe you had 2 North Carolina wide receivers in your top 5, you have 2 North Carolina running backs in your top 5. Would you do me a favor and start your evaluation on Sam Howell? No, I'm serious. Like, I want to know what you think of Sam Howell, Like I want to know. I'm looking ahead to next year because he's supposed to be the guy. He's put Trevor Lawrence up next year. I want to know what you think of him next year. I'm noticing a North Carolina trend here. Can't wait for that evaluation. Let's put it that way.
Well, no, I mean he interests me a lot. Like there's a lot of good throws on film to those receivers. I only had one of the wide receivers from North Carolina in my top 5, but either way,
okay, I'm sorry,
just one, but it's all good. But yeah, But they got
two good ones.
Throws
but yeah,
the deep ball well. Yeah. So I'll be interested, but I'm not going to go out on a limb and say anything as of right now because I'm just telling you, I would have all year, last year, all of that just been a part of like it's Trevor Lawrence, it's Trevor Lawrence, it's Trevor Lawrence. You know, the year before that, I would have been it's Tua, it's Tua, it's Tua. And you know what that was? That was wrong. It was Herbert. It was Herbert. It was Herbert. And I turned on that damn film with Zach Wilson, and I was like, holy crap, Trevor Lawrence is good, but Zach Wilson, watch the hell out. So I never know, and that's why I don't want to make any predictions as we sit here this early right
I got you. No, I'm just noticing all the firepower that your man Mac Brown has recruited to Chapel Hill. We appreciate it,
No
man.
doubt.
We're almost there. We're 2 weeks away.
Man.
2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, we will be sitting here talking about the actual draft, baby. So we appreciate you, Chris Sims. Thanks for the knowledge, bro. Yes.
Hey, no, thanks for having me, guys. Be good. Have a good weekend.
Enjoy your Friday.